Before you grab that oversized shopping cart and head to Costco this weekend, there are a few things you absolutely need to know. Because behind the towering pallets of toilet paper, free samples, and savings that look too good to be true, there's a system. And that system, it's designed to make you spend far more than you realize. Let's start with one of the most misunderstood aspects of the entire Costco experience, the membership itself. Most people see the annual fee, $60 for the standard plan, $120 for the executive version, as just a price of admission. Like a club you pay to get into, and once you're in, you get all the perks. But what if I told you that the membership isn't just your golden ticket? It's actually the core product Costco is selling. Costco's entire business model is built on the idea that you are the product. They sell access, and once you've paid to get in, you feel psychologically committed to making the most of it. This isn't just a theory, it's where the real money comes from. While most retail giants rely on product markups to stay profitable, Costco keeps their prices razor thin. In fact, their average markup is only about 10 to 14%, compared to 25 to 50% at traditional retailers. So how do they make billions in profit every year? You guessed it, membership fees. In 2023 alone, Costco pulled in more than $4.5 billion from membership revenue, pure profit with virtually no cost attached. And here's the kicker. Over 90% of Costco's total profit comes from those memberships. Think about that. The entire warehouse, the pallets, the food court, even the free samples. They're all just bait to keep you renewing that card. And once you've paid that annual fee, a subtle psychological force kicks in, called the sunk cost fallacy. You've already paid to be part of the club, so now you have to use it. Otherwise, you're wasting money. That feeling is what drives people to return again and again, even if they don't really need anything. The store is no longer just a place to shop. It becomes a kind of financial obligation. You might even catch yourself justifying impulse purchases with thoughts like, well, I'm saving overall, or I need to get my money's worth. Costco knows this. They're counting on it. And let's not forget the executive membership upsell. For an extra $60, they promise 2% back on your purchases. Sounds like a win-win, until you do the math. To break even on that upgrade, you'd need to spend around $6,000 a year, or $500 a month, consistently. And while some families hit that number easily, many don't. Costco bets on that gap. Here's something else. When you become a member, you're not just giving them money, you're giving them data. Costco tracks what you buy, when you buy it, and how often you come back. They know which products to put on sale, which samples to feature, and even how to rearrange the store layout, all based on collective behavior patterns. Your shopping habits fuel their strategy. So while you might think you're part of an exclusive club, the truth is a little different. You're paying to walk into a marketing machine that's been finely tuned to maximize your spend. And that's just the beginning. Because once you're inside, things start getting even more interesting. Take the layout, for example. Ever notice that milk, eggs, and bread, the staples, are always tucked away in the farthest corners of the store? That's no accident. Costco's floor plan is intentionally designed to make you walk past dozens of aisles before you reach the basics. Every step you take increases the chances of an impulse purchase. You weren't planning on buying LED string lights or a 12-pack of European chocolates, but there they are. And somehow they end up in your cart. Even the cart itself is part of the strategy. It's oversized, not for your convenience, but to make your purchases feel small. Behavioral economists have found that doubling cart size can increase spending by up to 40%. When your cart still looks half empty, You feel like you've barely bought anything, and you keep shopping. Then there's the infamous center court, that flashy area at the entrance with seasonal items, high-end gadgets, and oversized teddy bears. It's the first thing you see, and it's curated to spark excitement and awe. It sets the tone. This place is full of deals you don't want to miss. But that excitement is engineered. Costco doesn't use traditional advertising. Instead, they rely on creating an environment that feels like you're discovering hidden treasures. They've turned shopping into a treasure hunt where you never know what you'll find, but you know it won't last long. In fact, that sense of urgency is part of the design. Items rotate constantly. If you see something you like, you're nudged to buy it now because it might not be there next week. Scarcity creates pressure, and pressure sells. Even the product placement is part of the plan. Costco deliberately avoids clear signage in some areas, so you're encouraged to wander. That wandering increases your exposure to items you didn't plan to buy, but now can't resist. And then, just when you're rounding the final corner, ready to check out, you pass by the food court. That $1.50 hot dog and soda combo isn't just a meal, it's a marketing move. After spending hundreds of dollars, you're rewarded with a cheap treat. It feels like a win. You leave the store feeling like a smart shopper. But that's the magic. Costco isn't just selling products, they're selling feelings. And the biggest feeling of all, the illusion that you're saving money. Let's talk about Kirkland, the in-house brand that's so powerful. Most people forget it's not an actual company. At first glance, it seems like just another generic label. But Kirkland is a masterstroke of branding. It's designed to feel premium and budget-friendly at the same time, and it works. For millions of shoppers, Kirkland isn't just a cheaper alternative, it's the default choice. The brand has become a comfort, a shortcut to trust. It whispers, "You're making the smart decision every time you put it in your cart." But here's what most people don't realize. Kirkland doesn't manufacture most of its own products. Instead, Costco partners with top-tier suppliers, often the same brands you already trust, and slaps a Kirkland label on the product. Think you're skipping brand name markups by buying Kirkland batteries? You might actually be buying Duracell. That Kirkland vodka you think is just decent? It's been compared to Grey Goose in blind taste tests. And Kirkland's diapers? Frequently reported to be made by the same manufacturers as Huggies. So what's the trick? Costco gets to sell name brand quality without the name brand price tag, but also without paying for the branding itself. And because the Kirkland name has built a reputation for quality, it fuels trust across the entire product line. But trust, in this case, creates a paradox. The more confident shoppers place in Kirkland, the less likely they are to compare prices elsewhere. That sense of loyalty, built on the illusion of cutting out the middleman, actually makes you more predictable as a shopper. You stop asking, "Is this the best deal?" and start thinking, "It's Kirkland." Of course it is. Now let's talk about the most dangerous thing in the entire store, the free sample. You might think those smiling employees handing out crackers and dips are just offering a small taste. But samples are a powerful form of subconscious marketing. And Costco has mastered the art. Studies have shown that people who try a sample are more than twice as likely to buy the product, even if they didn't like it that much. Why? Because once you accept a sample, your brain feels a tiny sense of obligation. It's called the reciprocity principle. When someone gives you something, you feel pressure, however small, to give something back. Combine that with the taste memory and a touch of hunger, and suddenly, that box of fig-stuffed goat cheese crackers ends up in your cart. But it's not just about the product. It's about the experience. The sizzling sausages, the hot soup ladled into tiny paper cups. The smell alone can derail your entire shopping plan. In a store with no background music or flashy signs, samples are the entertainment, and entertainment keeps you in the store longer, which leads to more purchases. Costco doesn't want you to rush. They want you to linger, because the longer you stay, the more you buy. They've designed the experience to feel slow, deliberate, even relaxing. It's not like a chaotic grocery store, it's more like a retail retreat. That's not an accident. The psychology deepens further at the checkout line. You've just spent an hour navigating oversized aisles, dodging other carts, and picking between 12-pound tubs of peanut butter. You're tired, you're hungry, and now you're standing next to a rack full of last-minute temptations, protein bars, chocolate-covered almonds, travel-size everything. These items aren't placed there randomly. They're high-margin, easy-grab products designed to capitalize on decision fatigue. Your brain is tired, your willpower is drained, so you reward yourself. One more thing won't hurt. That's where Costco makes a surprising chunk of its profits. Even the receipt checker at the exit plays a role. It feels like security, but it also adds a sense of ceremony. You've made it through the Costco experience, and now you're officially exiting the deal zone. That subtle pause gives your brain a moment to reflect. Wow, I really got a lot for my money. Even if you didn't. Of course, none of this is to say Costco is evil. On the contrary, many people love Costco, and for good reason. It offers value, consistency, and a surprisingly enjoyable shopping experience. But it's also one of the most well-oiled retail machines in existence. And the more you understand the psychology, the more power you have to decide. Am I buying this because I need it? Or because they made me feel like I should? Knowledge doesn't mean you stop shopping there. It just means you start shopping on your own terms. That's the real savings. Now, let's go even deeper, because Costco's influence doesn't stop at the exit. In the final part of this video, we'll explore how the brand follows you home, reshapes your habits, and makes sure you come back again and again. The best tricks aren't the ones you notice. They're the ones that feel like your own idea. Let's pick up where we left off, because even after you've left the store, Costco is still with you. Not just in the trunk of your car, filled with bulk trail mix and 48 rolls of toilet paper, but in your habits, your routines, and even your psychology. Here's something most shoppers don't consider. Costco's influence begins before you even step through those iconic sliding doors. Have you noticed how rarely Costco advertises? There are no flashy commercials during the Super Bowl, no constant YouTube ads promising 50% off this weekend only. Why? Because Costco doesn't sell itself like other retailers do. It relies on reputation, word of mouth, and something far more powerful: exclusivity. That little plastic membership card? It's not just a key, it's a psychological anchor. It tells your brain, you've already paid. Now use it. It subtly transforms shopping into a kind of ritual. You don't just go to Costco, you make time for it. You plan for it. It becomes an event. And Costco knows how to reward that ritual. The samples, the generous return policy, the friendly employees, it all contributes to what psychologists call positive reinforcement. You associate Costco with satisfaction, with success. You come out with a cart full of goods and a feeling of triumph. I did good today. But what happens once you get home? You open the pantry and it's overflowing. 10 pounds of pasta, a gallon of maple syrup, enough granola bars to feed a small army. And that's when the quiet shift begins. You start adjusting your life around what you bought, rather than buying what fits your life. Suddenly you're eating more cereal because you have so much of it. Or you're using that giant tub of coconut oil in everything. Even if you never really liked coconut oil, you justify it as not wasting. But in reality, you're letting the purchase dictate your behavior. Costco reshapes consumption by altering the scale of what we consider normal. When everything comes in bulk, your sense of quantity slowly adjusts. A 24-pack of sparkling water feels like a reasonable amount. 2 gallons of ketchup? Sure, why not? Even if it takes you a year to finish, you're convinced you got a deal. Even Costco's famous return policy plays into this psychology. It's one of the most generous in the retail world. Virtually no questions asked. But that safety net makes you more likely to take risks. Try new products. Buy on impulse. Because if it doesn't work out, I'll just return it. Except most people never do. Life gets busy. The receipt gets lost. That item you weren't sure about ends up in your garage or in the back of a cabinet. And this brings us to one of the most subtle but powerful ideas. Costco doesn't just want to be your store, it wants to be your default, your go-to, the place where you feel smart, empowered, and just a little bit clever. It's why the hot dog is still $1.50 after decades. It's not just about value, it's a symbol, a statement. We're not like the others, and you believe it. But here's the thing. All of this is brilliant. It's not a scam. It's not a trap. It's an incredibly well-designed system built to benefit the company and the consumer, as long as the consumer understands the rules. Because the moment you forget, the moment you let your guard down, that's when the cart fills a little too fast. That's when your budget slips. That's when you realize you came in for paper towels and left $400 lighter. So what's the takeaway? Costco is a masterclass in behavioral economics. It rewards loyalty, encourages exploration, and wraps it all in the language of savings. And if you go in with awareness, if you shop with purpose, not just excitement, it can be an incredible tool for value. But like any powerful tool, it needs to be used wisely. So next time you walk through those big sliding doors, don't just bring your membership card, bring your awareness, and maybe, just maybe, your list. And if this breakdown helped you look at your shopping habits a little differently, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with someone who lives at Costco, and subscribe for more smart, honest content that helps you shop and think better. Thanks for watching.